mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Peace. Greetings. Welcome
Peace.
back. Bbt Saturday Adept class. Just want to go through a few of our sponsors as we do. We the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Some of our sponsors include mypdfbooks.com, where reading funds the mental. Please check out our vast library, PDF books, documents. If you would like a physical copy of any book, check out our sister company, bindedbooks.com. We print and bind all rare and out-of-print books for a fraction of the cost. If you're looking for any cultural regalia, please visit moorishhaberdasher.com. Looking for fezzes, turbans, kufis, suits, winter jackets, leather coats. We one-stop shop for all types of items. If you like it, herbal teas to go with your books, check out herbsofmayat.com and Mayat Sons, the Tea of Teas, divinely prepared on Instagram. And our music, Minister of Music, Brian Hicks Bay, BHB Music. Check out his soundtrack, Transportation of Raw Materials on all platforms. Also sponsored by Moorsachi, Moorish Regalia and Drip, inspired by the Russian icons and Moorish Renaissance. And all of these sites are engined by ALO Design Pros. Get your design and online business strategy today. Web design, AI, graphics, and so much more. With no further ado, gratitude, Sheik. Peace and love.
Bro. Peace and love.
Had a great workout.
Absolutely, we did. We had an amazing workout, man. An amazing workout. Can you blow the screen up so I can see you bigger? You know, you know how to do that?
Let me check.
I think you can be a little bigger for
like this?
Yeah. A lot of times it'd be maximizing it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, gratitude, Noble. Well, today, man, I wanted to really have an open discussion to talk about a couple things. You know, a lot of times we talk about the science. Well, we always talk about the science, which that's what we're supposed to be doing. But if you have your Powernomics book, don't you, Moso? I know you might not be able to pull it up on there. Do you have it available to look at it?
Let me see if I could pull it up on my phone.
Okay. But even before we go there, we'll talk about some things just to see, because today is more of understanding business,
Yes.
and talking about different structures. And a lot of times, when we get on social media, a lot of us, I'm not going to say all of us, but I say us as, a lot of people that may be on social media, we think things just happen by night. And then we get so caught up in, how can I say it, things not being valid when it comes to business and when it comes to, how can I say, building business credit and personal credit per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wanted to talk. I was going to talk about a few chapters in Powernomics as we, go through our conversation. But I also wanted to have a conversation with you and whoever may be on social media or the world that may have questions or may do things or may have thought this is the way to do things. So on here, I like to get on here and have ciphers to see some of the myths and some of the strategies to where we should be doing strategy instead of doing myth, instead of being personal with how we do business. Because there's only one way to do business and build business line of credit and personal line of credit. And you can't do that. And you can do that. When I always say, yes, cash is king, but credit is queen. There's nothing wrong with being responsible. That's what anything come to. How can I say, any endeavor? I wouldn't say gambling or nothing, but I would say when you're dealing with your personal type of credit and business type of credit, you can build it. You can build it and have these tools to work for you.
Right.
And use your money, your cash to build what? Your business and your personal line of credit where you don't have to use cash that much. It's a strategy. It's a responsible strategy. I'm just saying on a personal level, I'll just give you an analogy like this, Noble Moso. Okay, you travel, right? Where are you going to and fro? So that means you spend gas, right?
Right.
For gas. You probably use cash or your debit card, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you use cash or your debit card, so that's now you got your credit card or your gas card that you're responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
Even your I'll say your Capital One line of credit, right? Say you don't got that, and you got. I'll just start off with a small amount of dollars. Say $400 on there, right? So that $400, just say you have bank, boom. So now what you're doing is manipulating that line of credit. How? By using it, by being a responsible user, by building it. That's why when I ask people when they go into business, they say they don't want to use themselves to springboard things or etc. I said when you get a EIN or a business identity, it's attached to nothing. So if you're doing business the right way, if I would, like I said, how I do business, I wouldn't mind fronting myself.
Right. Makes sense.
Do it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're in it and understand what I'm saying, the strategy, and you're not in it to mess nothing up, to get no line of credits and say, oh, I'm gonna run it up or whatever. No, you're not. You're gonna be responsible. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna work those lines of credit. How? To build other lines of credit. That's what that is. When I talk about simple strategy, how? Just living. It's just like you said, doing. When you do it and continue to do it because you're gonna spend, build that line of credit with an institution. Build it. Yeah. I mean, because this is what I'll be trying to tell brothers. I said, yes. I said, man, we got the money, Moso. We got the money to what? To do what? Whatever. If we be responsible with it. But that's just the aspect that I wanted to throw out there in the mental of us as we call ourselves Moors and this and that and the other. I'm still talking about being industrial and making a living and using your brain. I'm not, out here promulgating us to be ignorant or to be doing anything that's going to bring harm to not only ourselves, but people around us. You know what I mean, Moso?
Yeah.
Like, that's like one of the main things that I always want to talk about. But building the lines of credit, man, I really believe is something that should be talked about and should be broke down all the way. Because nothing you should be doing, you don't have to be lying to get anything. You don't have to make it. It's no reason to do none of those things. If anybody teaching you to break the law, then that should be a no.
Yeah, like how you teach us with tax exempts, I'm just trying to understand. Just ask you have to ask these people at the different establishments, do they take the tax exempt and is the number right? And
yeah, because if anybody start off with having you falsify something, that's breaking the law.
Right. On paper.
And that don't even be the first catch of it. When I talk to brothers, I say, so the first thing you going to something is what? You falsifying government papers. What? You on here saying this, and it's not that.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying, Noble Mo. So when people be saying, and I'm seeing so many brothers getting caught back in that web because it's coming back around again.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of the so-called how can I say it? A lot of the so-called characters that was involved in that are popping back out. And I just tell, brothers to be responsible because, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just be responsible when we're doing things, man. And that's what I really, really want to have a conversation about today, man, is breaking some stuff down. Like, do you got your Powernomics, Noble Moso?
I couldn't open my file up, honestly,
Okay.
but
That's good. That's good. But it's some chapters in that Powernomics, man, that is really, really still relevant today when it's talking about role of the churches and practicing group economics.
Economics, yeah.
Yeah, practicing group politics.
Mm-hmm.
And like, in order to practice any of those things, that's activity. That's not nothing that should be, how can I say, frowned upon. These are the things that when I be saying this is more science.
Right.
Practicing group economics, practicing politics, not trying to overthrow nothing or star nothing. It's no reason to do none of that.
Taking your place in the affairs of man.
Yeah. But when we talk about structure, man, and doing some things, when I just like to bring up strategies, and then we say, well what's happening now? Why is not happening now?
Mm-hmm.
I ask everyone that, because it takes multiple body parts to make up a body. Right. So it just not on me, So that's what I'll be asking, man. Like when? I don't like when people say the answer, like I don't have an answer.
I mean, like you said, people try to reinvent the wheel, but a lot of cultures are already showing the blueprint. A lot of people in America and throughout the world have shown the blueprint of how to do group economics, how to build your credit from the bottom and thrive, as building real communities, building your families, which are the communities, which is the nation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
having a
just
having a service, having a whether it's farming, whether it's food, whether it's a service, like so you got to
mhm,
fill these voids of the society, and you'll always, like you always say, not chasing the income, but letting it come to you and make it while you sleep.
mhm, mhm. Yep. I mean, it's just a lot of times it still be a lot of anger. You know what I mean? Of social media that,
Hmm.
that that people be having out here, all type of different things. So I don't know, man. Everybody angle be different, or but like
Yeah.
I said, here at the BBT, everybody is welcome. You know, this is a cipher. This is a school. Like I said, we're not here to go against anybody spirituality, anybody culture, because that's not what we're about. We respect it all, but then you do have a right. You know what I mean? You do have a culture. You know, you do supposed to be dealing with economics. I mean, that's the only way.
Yeah.
You know,
The producer or consumer.
yeah, and that's why I don't want to get in too much reading. I wanted to just jump on here, have a conversation, because a lot of times people really need to have the science and jump into it themselves,
Yeah.
and be willing to get it, and be willing to take a little time to investigate some things, you know,
Hmm.
to see, to have something to compare to, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so, that's what I always will ask brothers and sisters, especially that come on social media and things, or historians, or other people that like to research, or
Hmm.
whatever your interest may be. If you just inquiring, or if you all the way into it, I would come in love and peace, and and understanding. So that's why when I say I challenge my brothers and sisters, I mean I challenge you to pick up the science and investigate it. You know, take a look at some of the things that's been laid out by elders. Take a open eye how things can be done. You know, things can be done when we look at practicing group economics. You know, it's even chapters on here about the role of the church. When a lot of people say the church, well, yeah, you have more science temples, of course, but I'm just saying on a standing context that in a lot of people neighborhoods, it was churches. It wasn't that many more science temples of Americas in a lot of neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Also, if it was, then too many people hear about it. It wasn't that mainstream per se.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when we talk about things, and especially this dynamic of the church per se, that's where it started becoming how can I say, a slippery slope to try
Hmm.
to say all is bad,
Hmm.
because that is can be.
It's too many benefits. It's too many advantages you can have by being a member of a congregation or church or temple. I mean, being a part of the BBT, we, like you always say, show your portfolio, open your portfolio. I mean, we've been doing it with our brotherhood and sisterhood and our businesses, and learning how to, we do the group economics, with the people, with the group we have, not trying to change the whole world, but just working with the brothers and sisters who will invest a few $100s a month, will support every brothers and sisters business in the group. These are the ways you start to cycle the dollar and keep it amongst your people.
Hmm.
That's one thing the book was talking about. It was saying how the black dollar, as soon as we get it, shit, we spend it with other cultures immediately, and then we wonder why we don't have anything. You know, it's like it's slowing down and not giving your dollar away to other cultures and complaining and being bitter and angry.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, man, like I said, Noble, it's just like I said, it's good to still continue to learn. And that's why I was talking about the angle, you know, and the way the message should be, how can I say, delivered.
Right.
You know, like I said, we ain't here to destroy nobody. We're here to give you something to compare to.
Yeah.
To say, have you ever studied this? Have you ever analyzed this? Have your group ever studied this?
Right.
You ever brought this to your teachers or anything? Or if you are a teacher, especially if you have his righteousness is in you, and righteousness has nothing to do with color. But if you're a historian, historians just do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a problem with who someone say they are,
right,
or what color the bird is. You know. So, but back to what we were saying, man, about that financial gain is something that can be done if the conversations was really had the same way we talk about religion, you know, the same way. I mean, you know, they're serious, and I'm just talking about the kids and the babies, Moso. You know, like it, I get spirituality, but we damn sure should be teaching finance to these babies. You know, just some form of understanding, you know, with that, because the need and the understanding that how this world is changing with currency and tech.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these like we don't want to have this generation
left behind.
Yeah, absolutely, Moso.
With AI and all these things we're learning with Alonzo, and just helping with business and interacting with people, like you say, using the internet to network and for business and to capture emails and to make a mailing list, not just being on your gossip and playing.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done. Like, I mean, the first thing we'll have to do with anger we can't look at each other as enemies. Nowhere, no how. I don't care if you're a Moor, I don't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite, I don't care if you whatever you claim to be. We can't look at each other as enemies. We can't look at nobody else as enemies. But when you have any hatred in your heart, everything it's not going to roll right. And the world don't operate on that level, you know? So, you know, I definitely, you know, would love for us to cipher with other brothers and sisters, man, and like-minded, and just see where we can be on wisdom and on understanding and on growth, because it is some things that, how can I say, Moso, and you've educated, you went to the university just like I have, just like a lot of people have. It's a lot of things just because you may went to university, you may have not known, because those topics and maybe they were for you to research, and maybe you didn't research them, or maybe you wasn't there on that, how can I say, journey yet. The spirit didn't take you that deep yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But the science is there. It's no is no denying, and that's why that's why I say it can't be no prejudice when you come in with more science and with finance, and that, because how, like, it can't be no other way, you know, Moso. That's why I say this when I talk to Moors, and one of the dudes told me, he was like, man, you know, a lot of these Moors, they have mental health. And I was like,
they do have mental health issues for sure.
And I was like, what? And, you know, he was serious, and he was dead serious with it. They were like, serious. He was like, no, for real, Sheik. He was like, I apologize. He was like, a lot of these brothers, man, is this, that, and the other, and halfway houses, and this. I'm like, man, well, I don't have nothing for nobody, you know. But wisdom, if you want to come around some brothers that's putting it up, that's putting their life on what they believe and what they understand, and come amongst each other as brothers, as a brotherhood, and study and have gotten their lives better, have doing some better things, continue to growing. We still in the game. We still operate as a unit. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, it's only when you're in the flesh and you have a strong mental mind. Hell, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Noble Mo. So
It's not about isolating. I mean, a lot of these brothers get into these splinter groups and these smaller groups, whether they learned about it in jail or online, and it's like Noble Drew Ali said, this is about the uniting of Asia, you know, uplifting fallen humanity. So I mean, you can't exclude any person or culture. You know, we learn from so many cultures that are here in the cities we live in. You know, so many different nationalities, different spiritualities, and people do commerce. You know, people go, they do yoga, they eat Indian food, they meditate. There's so many different ways people can monetize what their culture already is naturally, you know. Black people, I feel like so-called black people got caught in a box with entertainment and sports, like you say, and only a small percentage of people can do those things for a living. You know, it's hard to be a professional athlete your whole life and a musician and an entertainer. You still have to have, like you said, business savvy, know how to do your taxes, because as we see, so many people of our community fail at that, and then we just watching them lose all their money and talk, and it's like we can't keep repeating the cycle. We have mentors and other options.
But yep, man, Noble Moso, that's, I think it's real, how can I say, important for us to really sit down and have these conversations about, you know, personal credit and you know, business credit, to really see what it's all about. Especially as Noble Lamarck has cleaned his up. He's an example. I gave him an analogy. I said, now you cleaned it up. Now you must use it the right way. You know what I mean? The responsible way. Same way anybody else have to do. That's why I say that's the beautiful thing about the BBT. Like, the only way you know how to do some things right, you may know how to do it right out the womb, but sometimes it's nothing wrong with having examples and people being honest, saying, hey man, this is what I had to do to get this right. You do it, you do this, you do blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You handle this right. You get it in your name, build your business line, build your personal credit. And then, you know, springboard your business line of credit. You know what I mean? Then you'll be able to take yourself off and have your business standing up on its own feet. All those keys, but you being responsible. The whole thing is being responsible. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, like that's the whole thing with anything that you're doing, especially when we're talking about any form of how can I say, building a form of credit, especially if you have the money and you're doing everyday things. Remember we talking about, I just use you as an analogy, right? Look, that's a business strategy. You have a business, right? Now say if you had your business and you didn't have your company set up with your articles of organization, right?
Yeah.
And say you didn't register your business on the Duns and Bradstreet, and say you didn't get quick 30 accounts, none of that. Say you didn't do none of that, and every time you need something for your company, you spend it out of your own personal finances. You think you'll ever establish a business line of credit?
There'd be no trail for them to see me purchasing and buying items and buying inventory. And like you always say, you don't have to be in business to be building it, like you said.
You just want to do business the right way. You want to set your business up the right way. It's just doing things the right way on paper to make sure you good, because doing things the right way is going to set you up for the long term. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these be the things where I when I talk to brothers and sisters, when we talk business, because we don't talk specific to tell nobody what to do, because I don't give advice here. This is for educational purposes only. When I speak, you know what I mean? I don't give nobody no financial advice.
Mm-hmm.
None. You know?
Yeah.
But what I can say, and what I tell everybody to do to research, is you got to be responsible when you building any type of credit. You got to be responsible. That's number one. You know, because you can build something, and the thing is having a core of brothers and sisters that can build together and have a same mind frame can really do some amazing things.
Yeah.
I'm telling you how I know, because you know and I know, and I'm doing it right now. I seen people have credit cards over 20,000-30,000, all blow it all on bull crap. You know, because if you're doing it right, you gotta look at it. So if you're spending money on certain things, and why aren't you using? What's the purpose of having that card? Especially if you understand what quick 30 is all about. Especially if you ain't just blowing money. If you're doing business, so if you're doing business, you want to have those things set up. I mean, these are the tools how you build your business line of credit. It ain't about making no money. Do you have what I call your payroll or your operational costs? You know, all these things,
Yeah.
all these things about business, where you really want to know how and why you're doing business, and why it's so imperative to, if you're spending your own personal cash to springboard your business. I will hope your business is set up as a business on the dynamics of, your business line of credit being recognized, or your EIN. You know, those are things that, how can I say, should be shared easily with brothers and sisters, where, how can I say, no one's going to say, oh, I'm going to get you these type of trade lines for this type of money that's connected to all this type of dollars. I done heard so much stuff, Mo. So, I'll get you this trade line. It got $50,000 connected to it.
Right.
Like, nah. So it's just, removing some myths and asking questions, and we do it in a polite way here at the BBT, because these are, I'll just read from a list that I got most in front of me. That question that some people was asking me, and so I said, man, I just talk about it. If you don't come on here, I'll definitely speak on it. When a lot of students was like, man, but it's simple. I'm like, well, yeah. And I say, college students is doing this strategy, and they doing it together. Not like, the world has changed, man. Moso. Like when I used the analogy, I say, remember when we was younger, Moso, and you first got that first credit card. I don't know if you may have did it, but I'll talk about myself. As soon as I got that credit card, I think for $200, I went to 7-Eleven and took the $200 off of it.
You wanted to touch it.
What I'm saying is, Moso, like a lot of these kids now, they own it. Like I'm saying, some of them, I'm not saying all these kids is bad. Like, they understand a little bit different the value of that dollar and coming together. and seeing that if you can get, and this is what need to be taught, building your, if you building your business, especially you building your business line of credit. These is ways to do things, especially as a group. That's why you got, when I say as Moors, like yourself, like myself, anybody else that got expertise, when we talk about a skill center or a think tank, that's it right there. When we saying we need to hire somebody, no, we just hire ourselves.
Right.
And sit down as adults and be like, okay, and be honest, like, okay, this type of business I'm doing, bring it to the cipher for it can be cleaned up. If it may not have to be cleaned up, but that's how you not only teach you bring other people around, because like I said, the BBT is more than just one thing. That's why I said I was just answering questions that was asked to me from a little business endeavor that I had. And so I said I didn't mind when I was showing the brothers and the sisters, the students, when they was talking about business, because a lot of sophomores at GCU, they graduate but still really don't understand business. And how can I say, let me put it in a proper word, don't understand the necessity of having a business line of credit and setting themselves up as a business. I said you don't want to be the sole priority of everything, especially certain things when you coming in, especially if it's high liability. But those are all other things that need to be specifics to how things can be taught to our children, because business and history should be number uno. And how can I say, health and agriculture, that should be number uno. That should be taught from home.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, Noble Moso. So when it comes to even in the urban community in my neighborhood in the city of Flint, me and my wife were just talking about this. A lot of times we be looking on the outside and everything being the inside, as far as invested in land and property. Man, if you look at old blueprints in the neighborhood of Flint, Michigan, how it used to be, and then you look at other cities like New York and all these big areas and these brownstones where they got all these different nationalities moving in the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to imagine in a neighborhood where a lot of the houses are tore up, right? Now, and people don't understand, once they start doing this, they're gonna act like it's amazing. But in the city of Flint, Michigan, all they doing is pushing a lot of the community. How can I say, east per se?
Is that the suburbs? Is that like kind of suburbs?
Yeah.
It's just out there. It's off the highway.
Yeah. So what? Somewhat Noble. But like we said, man, things definitely need to be, how can I say it, we should be able to discuss things as a family, as a cipher, and have intellectual conversations, and not, nobody get on here, in no, how can I say, hateful ways, or just being, well, you can't stop nobody from being a troll, that you can't stop.
Right.
But just a lot of the things that we talk about, when, you should be able to ask questions, because there's a lot of things that people won't share, and so that's all I wanted to talk about today. Too much. I didn't have not too much going on, Moso. I challenge everybody to get Powernomics and go over chapter 8, 7, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
For we can have a discussion. Anybody, and if anybody don't have it, all you got to do is get with us, man. We'll make sure you get it. That. Yep. A lot of books we have. Yeah, we have, for you can have on your tablet and everything, for you can travel with them. and just a lot of science, man, a lot of things. How can I say that have been talked about a while ago from elders like Claude Anderson and other people when they talk about finances and powernomics and group economics and uh, practicing group politics and all those things, even the role of the churches. When you look at that science and when you read it, like I said, I don't want to sit and read it too much. I would want you and challenge yourself to get it and read it,
Yeah.
and look at it, look at it for yourself, brothers and sisters, and let's keep the cipher open, so we can ask questions. Because there's a lot of history and things, and that's what I tell people, man. Like, take the time, to open it up, and really let it marinate in you, because a lot of the things that have been talked about a while ago, or how can I say, from elders, is I mean, it just, I don't know, it just need to be applied. And I know that sounds so cliche, you know, but yeah, Moso, you got anything, man? Like I said, I didn't have in too much, man. I was in chapter 8 this morning.
Yeah, no, I was just reading through it too. Like you said, I was in chapter 5, and like you said, it's a lot of history connected with what happened to so-called Black-owned businesses and churches, and how these things shifted from us being producing to strictly consumer culture. So I mean, this book is definitely something we all should be analyzing to understand the situation that our people are in and how to get out of it and get into a better place, business wise, like you said, credit wise.
Yeah, and we got to stop acting like everything is all bad. That's the thing that be killing me with all these angry, people. It's like, man, okay, like, you that mad to be here in America? Like, that is crazy. You
Right. Right.
like, you got to be really kidding me, you know? But yeah,
So
man.
yeah, no, I didn't have much, Noble. I mean, gratitude for the topic. We
Yeah,
definitely got.
I ain't have too much, man. I just wanted to jump on here, Noble, and just say peace to the people. Been a long week.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a good Sunday school tomorrow. It's gonna be amazing as always. But I challenge brothers and sisters, man, to get Powernomics, man. If you have it, if you already got it at home, dive in it, man. Go into a couple chapters, because we're gonna have a good conversation, man. We're gonna go over chapter 5, chapter 7, and chapter 8 at our next meeting. So I challenge y'all, man, to research that, read it. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna get your mind frame going, man. And it's always good to talk about other things in life besides, how can I say, well, not besides, but along with your spirituality, because you do want to understand the idea and the understanding of having a business and running a business. If that's not your desire, it's still always good to pass those skills down. You know what I mean? Especially being a financial literate, understanding the value and understanding the dollar and understanding how to make dollars, and the value of percentages and saving. So all those things should be willingly passed down, especially to the youth today. You know, so
Definitely.
that's a part of Powernomics that I like to talk about, especially with the young men and the young women today. Is okay, like, yes, what do you want to be, but also, who are you? To give you a sense of understanding, to give you a sense of, what aspirations, to have your dreams and desires be at the forefront of your life. And so that's the whole thing. Another dynamics of power, nomics that I look at as well. As we move in today, man, like I said, brothers, let's just keep going and let's keep grinding. Let's just keep, being positive. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, words have spells. And if anybody need this, you got this motto, don't you? You able to share that with anybody if they need it?
I'm gonna get it from that source again and make sure I got it properly on my phone or laptop. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Well, gratitude, man. I mean, I thank you for your time, Noble Moso, man. I think, and who was that?
Noble Adrian.
Peace, Noble Adrian. I sent your other kufis and your feds to you. You should get in a couple days. But now with that being said, man, I just give y'all gratitude, man. I give everybody gratitude. But please jump into the science, nobles. Jump into the science. That's what I give it for. That's why I research it to give it to you to have it. Because, something might spark you. Something might spark your interest, especially in all the business terminology and the business strategy that we have. Because everything is a strategy. Even business and personal line of credit is a strategy. So all these strategies and things that we know work, somebody take them and take these keys and run with them. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
And so, like I said, I'm here to answer anything, Moso. You know that. You too, Noble Adrian. Anything. You already know that, Moso. Whatever we're trying to do, let's do it, man.
Okay.
But I give everybody gratitude, man. Please jump in your teachings, man. Seriously, especially in these trying times right now, because it's easy to question your abilities. But I'm telling you, that ain't how you built. You made in the image. But please, y'all nobles, check out that and read that Powernomics and go through that, man, in your spare time and make some spare time for yourself. Come work out with us. If you got the time to work out, come work out with us. We do it on Zoom. Everybody welcome. Everybody welcome to join us private. All you got to do is hit us up. We welcome everybody. But with that being said, Moso, gratitude, man, for taking time out y'all day once again, man. Powernomics. I recommend everybody to get that. If you do have it, please research through it because we're going to come back and have a deep conversation on some topics in here, especially the topic where it's talking about the role for the church with chapter 8 and practicing group politics, which is chapter 7, and chapter 5, practicing group economics. And so we'll talk about those. We'll talk about that next week because I know too many people didn't have the chance to read the science. So I'm giving you a chance to, if you do have it, take a peek at it. If you don't have it, you can get with us. We'll get it to you. It's no problem. And we go from there, man. Until then, gratitude and love to everybody.
Peace. Peace and love, Noble. I'll put up the outro.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager me. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this master.